Hello everybody, welcome to my channel and thank you for joining. Now in today's episode we'll discuss our team changes, okay, all the ins and outs, all the possibilities. We'll make a final decision, but it might not be the final one until probably Thursday, which will make another final adjustment to the final decision. Just calm it down. Alright, let's continue. We had a drop in rankings, okay, we dropped down 2,000 in ranks, now they're down at 6,700 because we messed up with the captains, okay, we're now in the top 4%, we were in the top, I think it was top 2% last week, so we'll get back up there again. We're only 100 points off, we're 120 points off the top 1%, so we're not that far away. One small error, anyway, we're not talking about this error now, just calm it down, alright, let's see our team, let's see our possible changes for this week. Now, let's assess who needs to come out of this team first before we start making trades, okay? Now, for my team, we have a few players, all right? We have Grundy and we have Setterfield. These are the two major ones, okay? Now, both were brought in to make cash, okay? Grundy was never going to be a keeper, and neither was Setterfield. So they're brought in to make cash. Grundy's made some cash. Setterfield has sort of made some cash. And, yeah, they have to go out, but I can't get rid of both of them, okay, because I want to also bring in Cincotta this week. So, here are the possible scenarios, okay? Green outs. Mitchell, we move him to the forward line. Okay, we go players, where is it? Carlton. Right, Carlton, under 3 games. Cincotta comes in. All right, so we have Grundy out, okay, and we bring in, now we don't have many options, okay, this week, so it's going to be a short video, and we bring in, and Gawn, okay, where's Gawn? Melbourne. Gawn. Okay, so if we complete, we have 260k left for next week if we complete this trade. All right, let's complete that trade. Now we bring in Gawn as the keeper. Now, are we sure that we want Gawn as a keeper? That's the question now. Where's he going to play this year? Is he going to score 100s? Or maybe he will. And 100s is okay. It's going to average you a 500k-ish. So is price right for that 100? Okay. Now, the other question then becomes buy rounds. How's our buy rounds looking? Let's have a look. Round 14. It's okay. It's passable. Round 15. Let's have a look. Right, it's working because in round 15 we're going to do 3 sideways and maybe Hopper won't be there anyway. Might have to just do 2 sideways trades. So, okay, that's not too bad, okay, and Cincotta won't be there either. Cincotta will be upgraded in the buy rounds. Might keep him all the way until the end of the buy rounds if he's playing that much, if he's playing that long. Now, so if this is the case, this can work. What are the other options? Okay, before I say that, 260k, what can we buy for 260k next week? All right, let's have a plan now. Well, for starters, 260k, and let's say we have to get rid of another rookie. So who else will be next rookie to go? All right, it might be Davey, Cowan. So we only got Davey, Cowan that are cashed up, and Semeniti. Okay, so, and we're hoping that Semeniti plays a week. Van Rooyen is not cashed up yet. He might have more cash to make. So it's either going to be Davey or Cowan going to go. And we're going to bring in Weedle. So let's say Cowan goes out and Weedle comes in, all right? So that's 75k, just say. 75k plus 260, that's 335k. 335k plus, well, we have an option now. Let's say Setterfield had a good game, okay? Let's dream a little bit now, all right? Setterfield had a good game, we're going to dream now. Now, if this happens, we don't have to get rid of Setterfield. We can keep him. So then what we can do is that 335k, we can put it on Semeniti, okay? We can get rid of Semeniti, and then we can get rid of 2 rookies that are dead, replace with 1 rookie and a primo, which then enables us to only have Cincotta as the rookie plus Ashcroft. 2 rookies on field left, okay? So that's an option, okay? That's one option we got. Let's go to our next option. Option number 2, and probably the one I like the most at the moment, although I still might change my mind, is Green goes out. Now, the reason we're getting rid of Green, let me just show you. All right, he's already made 160k cash. He's now scored a 28 in his scoring cycle, so now the cash is going to dry. He needs to score 61 just to break even 2 weeks in a row. Actually, if he scores 61 the second week, he loses 6K. That's going to be hard for him now because they have another full forward up there at Hawthorn, so I think it's time for him to go. Okay, we can't fall in love. We can't fall in love with the players. They have to go. He's done his job. Okay, so Green goes out. Again, we push Mitchell there, and again we go for the Carlton under free Chinkota. All right, he comes in here. Now this is the next plan, and I'm going to show you how much cash we make out of this deal. Okay, we bring in Richmond. We bring in Soldo. Now, Soldo, Toby Nankervis, it says here expected to be available for around 10 or 12, all right? Today, I couldn't help it, okay? I rang up the club. Okay, I did. I rang up Richmond Football Club. Asked them, how long is Soldo out for? How long is the Nank out for? Because I explained to them, I have a YouTube channel. I explained to them that I have 2,000 subs. They all want to know the answer, okay? I said it's not just for me. This is for a lot of people that want to know. And the fine young gentleman that I spoke to couldn't give me an answer. He didn't tell me nothing because he said, we can't really tell you much, okay? But we can tell you it's between 3 and 5 weeks. And I said, okay. So I said, so it must be like 3 weeks then. He said, well, 3 and 5 weeks, okay? So I'm emphasizing, like he said, the way he said 3 and 5 weeks, I was thinking maybe 5 weeks, okay? So we're going to gamble. Okay, we're going to bring in Soldo as an option 2. Now, what does that do? Let's complete... Let's get back over here. What did Nen come there for? Okay, let's complete the trade. Now, with this trade done, now Soldo's next 5 games. Let's have a look who they are. All right, 5 games he's going to play. Against Gold Coast, all right, and we're talking against one of the best, Wits. He's very hard ruckman to beat. He scored 85. He had 58% time on ground. This is a sensational effort by Soldo. Okay, next up, he has West Coast. They have no ruckman. Next up, he has Geelong. They're playing the Conning right now as their ruckman, so they don't have a ruckman, all right. Then they have Essendon, okay? Got Draper, all right? He's probably He's probably the toughest opponent out of the next 5 because it's Draper. Port don't have a ruckman, and GWS have Flynn. Okay, so it could be he can go nuts the next 5 weeks. He could be the number 1 ranked ruckman over the space of 5 weeks because of his draw. Okay, so Soldo could be as good as English this next 5 weeks, provided he has more time on ground. So, if he averages 85, he makes 100k. Just 85 in this run. And I'm sure he'll do that. He scored 85 against Wits. So it's possible. So let's gamble. All right, we're going to gamble. We're going to go Soldo. Not a lot of the leaders can do this, okay? They can't go Soldo. They're not going to be crazy. They're going to switch their teams around to go Soldo. So when you're in a top 4%, you can do this, okay? So we could take risks. We're here to win, okay? To win, you need to take risks. We're going to take a risk. Just calm it down. So, Soldo it is. So what happens now? We have 465k next week. With 465k next week, what can we do? Well, Cowan to Weedle gives us another, let's say, 75k. So we'll have 540k next week. With 540k, we can virtually add it to any rookie. And turn him into a primo. So with 540k, I might even put it on top of Roberts, okay? And get Roberts to become Clayton Oliver. Or I could put it on top of Davey, get an extra 70k, and then hopefully turn Setterfield into Laird the following week. Okay, so our plan now has become Oliver and Laird. I'm not in a hurry to get rid of these rookies off the field now because the rookies that I have on field are not that bad. I mean, Mitchell is... but Chinkota isn't. So there's no urgency now to get my rookies off the field. I've already done it. My hard work is already done. I've only got 2 left, plus Ashcroft. Ashcroft's scoring 100, so it's not really a rookie. So let's continue. Next decision. Now, our next option Uh, it's going to always be. It's always going to be green outs. Every option is going to be green outs. Mitchell goes there. We're going to also bring in Carlton's Shinkota. Okay, every option is going to be the same tink. Okay, up to here. Now, the difference here now becomes... All right, let's complete this trade. One trade done. Okay, now the difference here is we have 187k plus... Now, if we're to keep Grundy, who has a massive break-even, all right, and remove Setterfield, who also has a massive break-even, but not as big as Grundy's, all right, he's 117. Now, if we're to do this trade, now, keeping in mind, if we trade out Setterfield next week, we're going to lose, if we hold Setterfield 1 week, we're going to lose more cash, all right? So if Setterfield scores another 60, let's see what happens to his score, his price. If he scores a 78, he loses 18k, all right, with an 80. So we've got to accept the fact that we're going to lose some cash this week from Setterfield. I'm so upset with him just coming down. Anyway, so Setterfield's going to lose cash. So if we trade out Setterfield this week, we're going to lose the cash on Grundy. We're going to lose a lot more cash on Grundy. So that's another thing to consider. But if Setterfield goes out, who can we bring in? Well, we've got 615k. Now, for 615k, players I can afford to bring in. Now, who are they? Let's have a look. Well, there's actually, if I bring in Sarong, it's exact money, 615.5. So it's the exact same. But who do I really want in this midfield now? To be honest, I'm happy with these 5. I now want Laird and Oliver, okay? Because I've now put myself in a position where I can get them. So why not get them now, okay? I don't want to settle for a Petrarca now. I don't want to settle for a Dangerfield or a McRae or a Chero. I can be strong now. I can spend the cash because I've saved money on Laird, 70k. I've saved money on Oliver, 50k. So I've got 120k savings just there. So my plan next week is keep Setterfield. All right, we're gonna splash the cash. We're gonna bring in the Lairds and the Olivers. Okay, they're gonna come into our club now. Our team's gonna be stronger. Okay, we're gonna play Chinkota on field for as long as possible. As long as he scores an average of 80, we're happy with that. Okay, so the only problem then becomes our S Mitchell situation here. But if we keep Setterfield again next week, all right, and not trade Setterfield out next week, and then we just trade out a player like a rookie, we can bring in Oliver, keep Setterfield another week, okay, and just hopefully comes good again. Well, that's an option anyway. Let's continue. Now, I've gone back into this 2serious.net website, okay. I popped in Setterfield here. I put in a score of 51 for round 7. Now, if he was to score, let's just say 90, let's be realistic, all right? 85 every week, 85s, all right? Is he going to... Because if we can hold him a little bit longer and trade him out on his buy round, which is not far, all right? So if he was to score 85s, what's going to happen? Well, he's at 429 now, or 430 now, or 428, something like that. He'll get back to around about 430, all right? Now, in between somehow, all right, if he scores, let's say this week against Port Adelaide, all right, he went 1-1-10, okay? 110. It can't be 1-1-10. Only 110, just coming down. Now, if he went 110 this week, then went back to 85s, then what happens? His scoring jumps up again, all right? Well, his cash making stabilizes anyway, all right? So it stabilizes. For this reason, holding Setterfield 1 week is not the worst case scenario. However, if he scores a 51 this week again, we're in trouble. Okay, so we're really hoping Setterfield picks up his game. He needs a lift. Now, last week, his handballs were fairy handballs. They were going everywhere. Okay, he was just having a bad week. It was one of the worst games I've ever seen him play. Not that I've watched many of his games, but it was the worst one I've seen. Well, the score of 51 indicates that as well. So we're going to have to hold him. Now, players to consider for your teams, because you might be asking me, which players can I get? Okay, just come on down. I'm going to get to those now. Now, you have Matt Rowell, all right? Now, Matt Rowell, priced at $4.95K. It's not a bad deal, all right? It's Victoria market prices. You can almost go to Footscray Market and get at prices at Matt Rowell. So, and he's got the round 13 buy, which is very handy. So Matt Rowell is an option. Would I get him? Well, now I've passed that stage, okay? So I'm going to now go for I'm going to now shop at Prada again, or even, I might even go to Chanel next week. Just come down, okay? I'm going to go big now. I'm going to spoil myself. But for you, if you wanted to go to Victoria Market, Matt Rowell is an option. Another option is, actually, let's go to the points. I'll find him here. Is Will Powell, okay? Taking the kick-ins. And keep in mind that, where is he? Weller was sharing the kick-ins with him, but Weller's moved up the ground now. So virtually, Powell's got all the kick-ins. But also keep in mind that score of 143, Richmond hacked the ball forward, okay? So a lot of the ball went straight to Powell. Richmond just didn't. They're not going to play Richmond every week, okay? Keep that in mind as well. They're actually playing Melbourne this week. So, yeah, so Powell should be okay for you, all right? Should go around about the 100 average. And he's priced at $4.82, which is around about the 100 average, all right? Probably just unders. So he is value right now. But don't expect him to score 140s every week, okay? He's not playing Richmond every week. Now, another player that I was considering is Braden Fiorini. Now, with Fiorini, I looked at his heat maps, and it's not the position we wanted him in, all right? He hasn't got a Touk Miller role. He's not doing it. He's got the wing role and a bit in the back line. He scored 100. It's still a good score, but it's a little bit harder to score 100 every week when you got the wing role, okay? So he's not one of my favourites, whereas Noah Anderson, if you've got 556K, he's good gets, all right? And again, he played against Richmond, okay? So most teams can score well against Richmond. So Anderson at 556K, it's not a bad get, all right? Let's move on. We move over to Carlton. Now, at Carlton, who is there? Now, keeping in mind, Carlton has a round 15 bye, so it's going to be problematic if you get a round 15 bye player at the moment. But at Carlton, you have a few here. You got Sard, you got Doherty, and these are good prices on Doherty. What's Doherty's break even now? Still at 114. I wish I can get him at that price. It's 100K cheaper than what I sold him at. That's a good price now. But then again, he played against West Coast. I'm not touching Doherty, okay? So forget about Doherty. People are talking about Pitternet, okay? Now, Pitternet, last two games, I mean, St Kilda, that was against Marshall. Now, Marshall's not one of the best tap ruckmen, but he's a good ruckman around the ground. West Coast don't actually have a tap ruckman. So he scored a 114. Now, if he scored a 140, I would have said that Pitternet is up to the standards of the big boys, but he's not, all right? Now, he's up against Brisbane Lions, Western Bulldogs. Okay, he's got an easy game against Collingwood. Now, against Sydney, their ruckman should come back by then, all right? And he's up against Melbourne after that. So if you're going to get him for a 5-week stretch, he's got some tough games. It's a tough call, all right? His break-even is in negatives, I think. Yeah, negative 15, I think it is. So he can make you some cash, all right? How much can he make you? If he scores 70s, he's going to make you not much, 50K. If he scores 80s, maybe 60K. That's still not enough. He needs to go. I mean, you got to understand, he's priced at 357. He needs to go at 100, okay? If he goes at 100, he'll go up by about 100K. Similar to Soldo, who's a lot cheaper, all right? Well, not a lot, about 60K cheaper. So it's an option anyway, something to think about. But Soldo's a better much better tap ruckman than Pitternet. But Pitternet has more time on ground than Soldo. And yeah, something to think about anyway. Now, what other options are there for you? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the Adelaide. Okay, now Adelaide is the interesting one. They have a few players here. Chase Jones, all right, he's 378K. Now, the problem with Chase Jones is, if you were going to get Chase Jones, remember we were talking about Chase Jones in the Hawthorn game. We were going to gamble and think about getting him. And then we said, look how lucky we are we didn't get him. He got a 45. Well, actually, that was a time to get him because since that game, he's gone up 70K. Now you're really gambling because he got the 45. You would have been upset, but then he got a 113. You'd be happy again. It's one of those roller coasters. You're going to be happy and sad. He's playing on the wing. He kicked 2 goals to get that 113 in a game where it was a close game. So he's not going to kick 2 goals every week. He's up against Geelong next. Then up against St Kilda. They've got 2 tough games coming up. I can't believe I'm saying St Kilda's a tough game now. How much have they improved? Then he's up against the Dogs. Then up against the Lions. Okay, so he's got some tough games coming. Not that Collingwood was an easy game, but the easy game was against Hawthorn, and he didn't do well. So that's the interesting part. So Chase Jones is an option, and that's pretty much it. With the bargain basement prices here, there's nothing else. Yeah, that's it. So going back to the trades that we're going to do this week, our final trades, all right, it's going to be, we've got Chincotta there, all right, so it's going to be Grundy out. As I said, it's going to be Gawn in, it's going to be Soldo in, okay, so Soldo's going to come in. We're going to gamble, okay, it's time to gamble. We're going to do things that the top teams can't do, okay, because they can't afford to take these gambles, but we can. And we will. All right. So we're going to bring in Soldo. Here's an easy draw. We've got 465k left. That 465k next week, we're going to put it on to most likely Davey. Now I want to actually keep Roberts. All right. Why would I want to keep Roberts? You may ask. Well, Roberts has the forward. Mid-forward eligibility, okay? Now, this will be handy later on. And I'm going to have to bring someone that's got this anyway. And, I mean, he's out for a long time. But he might come back. We don't know. So, we're not preparing for him to come back. We're just going to use his mid-forward eligibility in case we have any. Let's say, for example, 1 week, Kelly body slams someone, gets a 1 week suspension. We have no one on the bench, but we have someone on the bench in the forward line. So at least this way, we can move over one of our forward mids and swap with Roberts and bring in the forward into the forward line. So he's going to actually come in handy because Davey's not going to be there next week if we trade him out because he eventually has to go. And these forward mid rookies are very hard to find. So as I said, I'm going to have to eventually end up keeping Roberts anyway. Okay, so we're gonna hold on the centre field for as long as we can. That's the plan. All right, that's our plan. Still, we punish the players so they can perform. We've punished Setterfield this week. He's gonna perform. I'm gonna bet on it. So I just come down. That's it for today. Thank you for joining. And if we have any changes, I'll put up another video. And remember one thing. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.